Hello, today I'll be presenting the scenario for High-End Clothing, which is a luxury clothing sales company. Their objectives are to replace the current CRM with a unified customer support system. This is post-sales activities, so they're trying to unify and provide a platform for customers and customer support. The risk identified is that there's tight coupling with World Bank service. We're going to be de-risking that and loosening coupling using an ESB, and then of course large data volumes will be mitigated using a data warehouse. The assumptions I made is that the payment history will be stored in data warehouse, and then Salesforce will act as a system record for CRM data. The service agents and their managers and VPs will receive service code license and Salesforce Voice for the ability to make phone calls and receive phone calls, and Service Cloud for the ability to manage cases and omnichannel. Supplier managers receive customer community license for access to own records, and return depot agents will receive customer community license for access to own records as well. Moving on now to the role hierarchy, we have the service agents that will service agent VPs that will be global, and then the service agent managers will receive 4 different roles based on the office that they're located in. And then the service agent offices will also have separate roles as well for the different service agents there. Now the system landscape, the system itself is implemented using a single org for the unification. We have multi-language enabled for the French, Spanish, English, French, and Italian apps. Those multi-languages are enabled using metadata and translation workbench. Multi-currency is enabled for the global reach here. And the org itself is implemented with Commerce Cloud, which is already purchased. Commerce Cloud will expose APIs for a headless web shop that is consumed by the website that currently exists. So the website will consume the APIs that are exposed by Commerce Cloud for that purpose. SDocs will be installed and enabled for the generation of PDFs and Salesforce Voice. With Amazon Connect, will enable the telephony features. The internal user and external users will log in using their native Salesforce credentials, and there will also be a mobile publisher app for the customers as well as for the suppliers for them to register or log queries or cases in the system, or for supplier agents to scan barcodes and then register log returns as well. The ESB will be enabled and expose expose APIs, reusable APIs for an API-led approach to integrations. That ESB will integrate with the World Bank service and the website and the supplier back office. The ETL will be also provisioned by Data Steward for the migration of data from CRM to Salesforce. Moving now to the ERD, we have and also the requirements. We start the process, and I'll close my face out. We start the process at the service start. So we're at post sales, and we're having service customers registering complaints or registering queries relating to orders via email and phone, or using the mobile app to register or log cases. So we'll enable email to case for the purpose of emails, and Salesforce Voice for the receipt of the routing of calls to service agents, and then the creation of cases within Salesforce related to those calls. The mobile publisher app will also enable customers to be able to create cases within the system as well. There's different types of cases that can be created, and those will be recorded via metadata as record types within the system, and they will be handled differently based on the record type as well. So the record type will enable us to have different statuses for the cases, and they can follow different life cycle as well. The orders will be within the system. This is all post sales, so I'm assuming that the orders will have already been created using the Commerce APIs, and the orders will then be created as order records and order items for the different purchased products. The agents will be able to access that using their access to the access to the service console, and that will be exposed to them using criteria-based sharing rules. The mobile publisher app will also enable visibility to the purchases to the customers using sharing sets. So they'll have access to the orders because they are assigned to the order as an account lookup, and they will have access based on that. There will be case assignment rules that will then, when a customer routes a case, or when a customer creates a case or query within their mobile app, there will be case assignment rules that will automatically route the case to a queue that is regional, and then the queue will automatically omnichannel will be enabled, and that will then route it to an agent that's suitable for the handling of that case. There will also be, for the purposes of ease of use for agents, there will be case knowledge articles that are related to different cases using the case article object. And then there will also be a FAQ on the public website that is exposed and exposes those knowledge articles as well for them to, or any customer facing knowledge articles will be exposed to them so they can then self-serve. The payment processing is already happening as well, but there's a need for the full history of payment activity to be accessible within the Salesforce solution. So what we're going to do is have the payment data stored within the data warehouse and then exposed using OData connectors and data virtualization via Salesforce Connect within Salesforce. And that will then be accessible and to those customers, and we will control the scope of access using restriction rules on the external objects. And if there is a refund that's needing to be requested, then there will be a quick action on the order item layout that will then initiate the refund process. So the service agents will be able to click on the quick action and initiate a refund that way. The service agents will be the only users that can actually initiate a refund, so that will be enforced using customer permission sets, and validation on the flow for the refund initiation. So when the service agent initiates a refund, that will then flag the order item as a refund initiated order item. That will then do a fire and forget call out to the back office for the suppliers. That will then receive the information about the order that is needing to be refunded. The return policies need to be displayed to the individual customers. They will have access to the return policies based on a supplier lookup on the order record itself. So the order record will look up to the business, the supplier's business, and the business account record will store the return policy. And then there will be a formula field on the order that will display the return policy for the customer's visibility. So the approvals, once it is approved by the business within their back office, I'm assuming that the ESP will be able to subscribe to that event, or there will be a webhook that the ESP can then receive and then initiate the creation of an SDocs PDF that is attached to the order. That SDocs PDF that's attached to the order is then accessible to the customer, and then the customer can then download it, or they can do whatever they want with it. All the returns that are created, or all the return items, will be their life cycles for the returns will be tracked directly on the order item object itself, and there will be a status field for tracking that life cycle. So when an order is initiated, then there will be a initiated, the text for the pick list will be initiated, and then once it's returned, then they were approved, and then it will update the status on the order item as approved. And once it's returned, refunded, that will then update the status as well in the order item. When the return is received, then the return agents will then scan the package using a mobile publisher app that will use the barcode scanner API, and then that will update then the order item status as returned. That return will then be sent sent back to the supplier. That's not tracked directly within the system, but it's an offline process. The current CRM solution will be retired, but luckily the data within the current CRM is good. So we will continue to follow an ETL process where a data steward will profile the data from the CRM just to double check that the data quality is good. And then make sure that there is schema mapping between the CRM solution and the Salesforce solution, and make sure that the columns all match. And then there will be rehearsal migrations of the data leading up to then a controlled cutover when the system goes live. Customers will be able to see all the orders they have placed in the last 3 years using the order object. And that will be sharing sets there. It didn't call out actually large data volumes here. So I'm going to assume that we're not dealing with large data volumes, especially since it's high-end clothing. So it's maybe the clothes themselves may not be purchased as frequently since it's higher priced and luxury goods. Customers will be able to view all their cases as well using the sharing set. The owner of the case itself will be the service agent, though, based on the omnichannel routing. Service managers will be able to view all the cases created or routed to their office using the role hierarchy. So the role hierarchy will then have the managers above the service agents. They will own the cases, and the service agent managers will then be able to view all their office cases. Service VPs will have global access using the role hierarchy as well. Service managers will be able to view all the total refunds by week for each service agent using the role hierarchy as well. And then there will be a roll-up summary on the object for orders. The order object will have a roll-up summary field that will then sum up the total refunds on per order. And then they can aggregate on the order object reporting for the purpose of viewing the total refunds by week or grouped by whatever other dimension they want to use. Service managers will also need to be able to view when customers frequently request refunds. So whenever customers are scamming, they can do an aggregate centered reporting on the order items with refunds per customer, where they will group by the customer and then do a count on the order items where there's a refund flag and it's been returned. And then they can then see the customers with the highest volume or volumes of refund, wanted a count of refunds that is above 10. The supplier managers will be able to view the total refunds amounts broken down by supplier based on aggregate reporting by order. The orders themselves look up to the supplier, and then what they will do is grouped by the supplier, and then aggregate on the sum of the total refund amounts based on the orders. So their order object has that total refund amount, and then we just sum that in an aggregate query or aggregate report. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.